Hey traders, warm welcome to you. All right, so these are common traps that we fall into as day traders. I've got, how many have I got for you today? 6. If you want to add any more, then do so in the comment section below. What traps have you fallen into as a day trader? And while you're down there, guys, do check out our channel sponsor. There's a link to them in the description below. All right, so the first trap is that you won't take a break. You're a day trader, you sit there, plonk, your butt is on the seat, you don't know your due diligence, you don't know your market research, bell goes, and you end up sitting there. Before you know it, it's way past lunchtime, it's almost near the close, and you've just sat there all day long taking quick toilet breaks and drinking lots and lots of coffee. This isn't good, guys. It's not conducive to good trading, and it's counterintuitive. We've discussed this before, but forced breaks are so much more better for your P&L long term than sitting there all day long. I know we get wrapped up in it. I know when the markets are busy we get wrapped up in it, but honestly, just a quick refresh sometimes, quick walk, going out, grab a bit of lunch, come back to the office, whatever you're doing, do that, and that just resets things and allows you far more clarity, allows you a bit more confidence to hit stuff with more size later on in the day. You know, reflecting on perhaps some of the stuff you've done subconsciously. Take that break, and it's a trap we fall into. Been there, done it, sat there for hours and hours on end, and recognize that this is just not the way to do it. Yes, there's opportunity, fine, sit there, but when you get a time, a window, which you always will do, then take some sort of break, even if it's super busy, and that literally is 5 minutes outside, stopping thinking about things for a little bit, rather than that constant input, constant input, constant input. But most days, guys, there's no excuse not to take a lunch away from the screen, or at least a short break away from the screen. It will impact your P&L positively, definitely. Right, number 2, the trap number 2 is you don't switch off on holiday or when you're away. So this is a big trap, guys. We've probably all been there, done that. I know I have and regretted it. You go away, you go on a holiday, you've got a hard-earned break, you're on a nice holiday, enjoying yourself, and you're looking at the markets. So you're there, you're kind of by the pool, or you're in the hotel restaurant, or whatever it is, and you're kind of just putting in let me see what the market's doing. Don't do it. Like when you're on holiday, just say to yourself, okay, now don't say you don't have to look at the market at all, because ultimately we're interested in the market, but just say to yourself, right, I'm going to check to see what it's done after the close in the evening. I'm going to look at it for 5 minutes just for curiosity. Now, if you can turn it off completely, then that's probably even better. But stop looking at it all the time. Like you're on holiday, like what's the market been doing? Because it just doesn't help you. Because A, you're not going to be able to relax. You feel like you're missing out. You probably feel a little bit guilty already for taking a holiday. I don't know why we do. We just do because we feel like we might miss something. And so it just doesn't help you. You kind of spent all that money on that nice holiday, all that money on that break, and all you're doing is checking the markets. Switch off. If you need to check the markets, then just check it once a day at a specific time to keep yourself informed. I think that's a good happy medium. You're not starving yourself of your want to check the markets, but at least you're having the discipline to say, listen, I'm not going to keep looking at it, see what, it doesn't matter. I can't do anything about it. I don't want to be trading off my phone from the side of a pool anyway. You know, I want to just enjoy myself. I want to see what's happened just out of interest to keep myself in tune with what's going on. I'll give myself a 5-minute window at the end of the day to see where everything closed and to see if there's anything interesting going on. And that's the way to do it. Getting caught up in it just means that you've ruined the holiday, and also mentally you're not giving yourself the time to recharge, which is ultimately good for your bottom line when you come back. Third trap is you think your setup will work forever. This is common, guys. You know, we've got a setup that's working very well. We're pushing it as hard as we can. We're trying to put more size into it. We're growing our size. We're working on that kind of mindset approach and the challenges that come with size, growth. And then we don't think that actually the setup could stop working. And then it just stops working for a bit. And we're a bit like, oh, what do we do now? Well, the setup's not working. Well, which setup do I do? Well, this was really good. And then you kind of haven't really got a plan of action, and you're not expecting it either, and it's a little bit kind of a blind side. I remember the first time for me when the setup was working really well for months and months and months, and I was pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, trying to increase my size. When it just stops working and markets change, you're like, oh, now what? That's really just gone, put a line under it, and you just go, right, well, let's find a new setup now. And you're not working on that. You're not kind of thinking about other things in parallel with running that, because the first time it happens, you don't expect it. So it's a common trap, guys. Just now, it's always sensible to be, you know, obviously focused on what you're doing and what's working, but still looking around for other things, other opportunities that you could potentially develop as and when the market changes, and that setup is quite not as powerful. It could come back again, often does, times it does, but the common trap is that you think it's going to work forever. 4, guys, trap number 4 is you ignore your health and fitness. Easy to do. Same kind of thing as sitting in front of the screen, but you ignore the health and fitness. Easy to have a bad diet as a trader. You're sitting in front of a desk. You're easy to not eat healthily. Easy to not go out and do any exercise. Easy to not go to the gym, go swimming, go jogging, whatever you do. It's super easy to fall into that trap. And the excuse is, well, I want to be in front of the screen, I don't want to miss anything. And we tell ourselves that excuse. And it's a perfectly logical excuse, but it makes no sense in the long term. If you haven't got the health and fitness there, and we're not saying you need to go and just be, hammering yourself every single day and, eating as cleanly as kind of nothing, let's be honest about it, guys. There's not a fitness channel here. We're not about that. And if that's your thing, that's great and that's really good, but it's just about getting a bit of a balance. It's like, okay, do something, do some sort of physical exercise and forget about the health benefits from it. If you're just a brutal capitalist, then doing that will make you make better trading decisions, which will improve your bottom line. And that's been proven, guys. Health and fitness helps you make better trading decisions. So we're not looking to be an Iron Man. We're not looking to be a bodybuilder. We're not looking to be on the cover of Men's Health, which if you are is great, but we're just looking to improve it and just keep mindful of it, because often it can be impacted negatively by the nature of what we're doing. Trap number 5, guys, is you become too blinkered. So you become too blinkered on what you're doing and what meaning that has on what you're trying to achieve long term. You become so blinkered and you get devastated by one losing day, one losing trade, one losing string of days, and you're just devastated by it in the beginning. You're like, it's so frustrating, I can't stick to rules, why does this happen? And in the scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Your journey on trading is going to be for many years, and even if you stop trading, the lifespan is many, many years. And so we tend to be so blinkered and we don't put things in perspective. We fall into this trap and it's the end of the world when we make money, or it's the best thing ever. It's the end of the world when we don't make money. It's the best thing ever when we do make money. And it's super dangerous, because all that does is just swing our emotions from low to high all the time. The 6th and final trap, guys, is you forget to enjoy the process. This is a journey that we're all on and it never ends. And I think when you realize that it never ends and you start to, speak to traders who've been trading for kind of 40 years plus, or they have devoted their whole life to it, they are still learning and improving. You think, well, the process never stops. We fall into the trap, especially as newer traders, are thinking, if I just get to profitability, if I can just, do this for a living, if I can just make this, if I can just do this, I'll feel good. And that's the wrong way to approach it. The process is what you should be. If I can just, it should be, hey, I just want to execute the process. If I can just improve my process and keep improving, then I know that I have the best possible chance of making the money I want to make. I've got the best possible chance of increasing my P&L and improving my trading, rather than focusing on, I want to be this point, at this point, this point. Nothing wrong with having goals, of course, but focus on the process and enjoying the learning process. Because then what happens is, when you have a bad day, a bad week, whatever it may be, you see it for what it is, which is something you can learn from and improve from, rather than something that's negatively impacting for you. A guy who I follow a lot on social media, his podcast, his YouTube channel, Ed Milet, one of the things that he says is that, listen, life happens for you, not to you. In other words, if you can put that in a trading framework, when you have a bad series of trades, it's happening for you so that you can review and adjust and adapt and tweak and take stock and analyze, rather than it happen to you. You think, oh, I'm losing money. Why am I losing money? And it's the frame that you put it in sometimes is a differentiator between making progress and not. And even though it's the same kind of operational outcome of losing money, how you frame it really does help your forward momentum or not, depending on which side you decide to take. All right, guys, those are 6 traps, common traps that day traders fall into. If you've got any more, then please put them in the comment section below. Helps everyone else who's watching the video to see what you guys have got to say in your input. The community really does help. And I do appreciate your comments, guys, of course, and your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. Take care. Bye-bye.